So like in a lot of ways, this is sort of a psychological profile as much as it is a presidential race. It's like we're watching two different people that are extremely flawed. Like, she is not honest. Hillary Clinton is a very, very dishonest person. There's an incredible amount of data to point that she is incredibly dishonest. Whether it's dishonest about the Clinton Foundation, dishonest about the emails, dishonest completely about Benghazi. Do you remember when they were trying to say Benghazi was all in response to a YouTube video?
Yeah, which she knew it wasn't. There are emails that prove it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And it's very, very disturbing when you consider the fact that it doesn't disqualify you from running the government. It doesn't like, if you're going to have someone who represents the people of, as Jon Stewart said, and I agree, the greatest country in the world, you should have someone who's honest. And look, even Barack Obama's turned out through these WikiLeaks releases that he lied about not knowing that Hillary Clinton had that email server.
Yeah.
He had commented on it and he had emailed her on it. So that's not true. So the whole thing is very, very sordid in many, many, many ways. And, Gary Johnson keeps fucking up. I've had him on the podcast before and I enjoyed him. I like talking to him, but how do you not know what Aleppo is? Right. I didn't know where Aleppo is. So let's, by the way, but I knew what was going on in Syria, but I didn't know the name of the city that was getting bombed.
Sure, and of course, look, the media is disingenuous when they find that Aleppo moment with Gary Johnson, and suddenly that's the lead story all over the place, or for 24 hours it's all over Twitter, because it's like, you guys ignored everything he says, so now he screwed up once, and now that's the way you discredit him. So I've had Gary Johnson on my show also. I chatted with him. He was going on Larry King when I was over at Aura, and we had about a half hour before we went on air in the green room. The guy he's a perfectly decent, lovely human being.
He's not dumb.
He's not dumb. He is a nice guy. I would love to smoke pot with him and go skiing, but but that said, in August I did a video on my channel where I said I will support this guy to get to 15% to get him in the debates, because whether you like him or not, we desperately need another voice. Yeah. Talk about limited government. Talk about why taxes should be low, or whatever it is. Now, I failed at that, obviously. I tried. But from that point, from about mid-August to the debate, he had about 10 horrific moments. Like, I actually think, as much as I like him personally, he's done the libertarians, and in a certain way, the country, a major disservice by being so ill-prepared for this.
Yeah.
So many people would have been excited to have heard an actual... Imagine if there was a libertarian right now. Obviously, he's not going to win.
Like a Ross Perot type character?
A Ross Perot type, or just someone who had a certain command of the issues. Because Gary, he's good in all the reasons that we like him, but he's kind of goofy and silly, and, he stammers a lot, and he speaks in a funny way, and his body language is kind of, sly, slippery, or I don't know. But the point is, this was the year. If we were ever going to have a third party, a third choice, something like that, this was the year where it could have made a real dent the way Ross Perot did.
Yeah.
And Gary it should have been the libertarian candidate more than Jill Stein, I think. But Gary just, at every opportunity to show that he knows what he's doing, can speak clearly about the issues, he failed. He's for having the government force the Indiana baker to bake the cake. Did you know that? He's a libertarian.
He's for the government forcing them to bake that cake.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So he isn't even a great, but I even said this in my video. I said, look, the guy's not a great libertarian. I don't think he's a great candidate.
Well, he was a Republican. And when he ran New Mexico, he was a Republican.
Yeah, and he was a good two-term governor,
as was
by the way.
Bill Weld, by the way, who's his running mate, who's the former governor of Massachusetts.
Yeah, so they're both decent fellas. You know what I mean? They're both decent fellas, and maybe that's just not what makes you the president, but they missed a huge opportunity. Imagine if there had just been a well-spoken libertarian who could just have elicited what the points of libertarianism is.
Yeah.
I think it would have, look, it's not going to flip the election, but it could have done something. And I think he was the wrong guy.
It's a dirty business, and that's one of the reasons why Hillary Clinton is good at it. She's a dirty person.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that with no ill will. I mean, I don't hate that lady. I mean, but what she does is dirty. And if you look at what the DNC did to Bernie Sanders, that's dirty. And what she did, as soon as that woman got fired from the DNC, she hires her immediately. I mean, it's so incredibly transparent.
So think how corrupt this is. And this is, again, why I talk about the left a lot, because they need to call out their side. It would be very easy for us to sit here and just mock the right the whole time. And we can get further into Trump and mock the shit out of him. And talk,
but the problem is, I don't believe in a left and a right.
No, I don't either, but I'm just within the way we have to sort of frame discussions. You know what I mean? Like, the labels are they're all ridiculous at this point. But think about how corrupt the DNC is. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was the head of the DNC. They find out she's rigging it for Hillary. She steps down in shame, literally the same day or the next day. Same day she starts working for the Hillary campaign. Then Donna Brazile, who's a Democratic superdelegate, right? She's a Democratic superdelegate who CNN had on as a contributor, as if she could possibly give you any remotely honest answer on anything. She then becomes the head of the DNC. And then now it's, of course, come out on WikiLeaks in the last week that she was feeding Hillary questions for the debates. So you may hate the Republicans. For all your fans out there that hate the Republicans, you still got to acknowledge that there is something deeply, deeply corrupt with the Democrats. And Hillary's the head of that, simply put.
Deeply corrupt against Bernie Sanders, who's also a Democrat. It's like what Hillary Clinton is a hustler. And she knows how to put it all together. Yeah. And she's got, and both of the Clintons, they're hustlers. They keep these people close to them, and they make sure that everyone is taken care of, whether it's people from other countries that donate money to the Clinton Foundation, whether it's all these different people. Like when she hired that woman for her campaign, that's not unusual. Like that's standard operational procedure for the Clinton campaign.
Yeah.
That's like how she's conducted business, and that's what we don't like about politics. What we don't like about politics is the cronyism and the established roots that they have developed over 30-plus years in government.
Yeah, so that's what's happening right now, is that because of WikiLeaks, we're starting to see how the sausage is made. It's not just a theory anymore. So for the last couple of years, where a lot of online people would be screaming about the government's corrupt, the media's in bed with them, they're pitching softball interviews. Well, now we're seeing that it's actually true. Like there's actual evidence in emails saying, yeah, give softball stories to easy reporters at the New York Times. Don't talk to this person, blah, blah, blah. We're seeing all of it now. And it's coming to and then you throw Trump into it, and you throw trolling and internet culture, and you get all of that going. And back to that popcorn that we started with, now it's all bubbling at once. And it all comes down to tomorrow.
And I also think there's waves of this stuff. There's waves of outrage, and then the people sort of get resigned to it all because they get their own life calls. Like if you really wanted to delve deep into the Clintons or delve deep into Trump, and just that would absorb every second of your day for decades.
Yeah.
It really, really would.
Yeah.
With both of those guys.